founder and CEO of CipherGraph Networks. I started out this company in July 2011, and the prime reason why I did this was I was actually between jobs. I was going to join another job, and I left my old job at a enterprise VPN company, and I decided that corporate world isn't really what I want to do anymore from a spoke in the wheel kind of a perspective. I believe that we should be doing something a little more profound, doing something a little more differently, and I also personally believe that the industry as a whole may or may not always have the right perspective in terms of where the next step is going to be. Large companies are always driven by the next quarter, and what I wanted to do was create some kind of a disruption here, being able to create a company which was solving a certain solution for a certain people who are looking into the future, people who are looking into the next generation of cloud computing. And that's where CipherGraph technology comes in. I want to be able to enable enterprises of pretty much all sizes to leverage the cloud for their own intranet and all their applications, even the most critical applications, and increase the cloud penetration without having their IT to worry about security and all other things. So the thing is that I know this domain from before. I've worked in this domain for several years, and I totally get what it is that the customers are looking for, except that we are solving this problem in an entirely different landscape. So once I got this idea, it was actually 4 in the morning. I thought, there must be something wrong with my thinking. It's too late in the night. I started then prototyping like crazy. 3 or 4 days into the prototyping, I realized this was possible. And I told my prospective employer that, boss, I'm not coming in. I'm going to be doing something on my own. Fortunately, he was an ex-entrepreneur himself. He totally got it. He said, we support it. Go ahead. So I did this, and the thing is that I put horse blinders on. I knew what I wanted to build, and I started coding like frantic. Like there was no tomorrow. In the process, I was coding 17 or 18 hours a day, not getting out of the house. My wife got really irritated, and I got a very severe vitamin D deficiency. I had to go on medication for that. It was that bad. Thankfully, it didn't last too long, and I was out with the product and started talking about it publicly. And that's when I realized that was the absolute wrong thing to do. I should have been talking to people. I should have been understanding about my market, and thankfully the ecosystem in India is very supportive. There are a lot of people here who want to genuinely help and offer the right kind of advice at the right time. So things have changed since then. I'm talking to a lot of people, and we have had a few trial runs in the market, and we are trying to get the product into full production. We are right now in beta. Once that is done, I guess the customers can start paying us. I would say yes, the domain expertise came mostly from me and my advisor. My advisor has been great help. He's an ex-entrepreneur himself. He's a successful ex-entrepreneur, and from the same space. So he totally gets this domain, and he totally gets what the marketing strategy is going to be. And that has cut my learning curve by a huge degree. And yes, the employees have been a great help. Fortunately, there is no shortage of techies in India, so that works. So incredible, yes. BizBug, I think that is something that all startups should go for. I mean, forget about the free software, but just the mentorship and handholding that they do is invaluable. These people are really willing to help you out, and I've been to Microsoft Office a few times, and I mean, it's incredible the kind of support I'm getting from them. I mean, it's not just the words of encouragement, but also genuine advice in terms of where our company's deficiencies are. We're all techies, right? But we don't know too much about B2B sales and marketing, and that's also where they come into the picture. And of course, the BizSpark platform with the India Startup Challenge was an undeniable opportunity to work with like-minded people across India and share from their experiences. These are two things which have to go completely hand in hand. We are definitely expanding. If you're smart, if you're capable, and if you're ambitious, please give me a call, and we'll put something in motion. The product work is not going to stop. We are not putting one thing on hold for the other. So there have been some very interesting statistics. One of the things that I find most interesting is that India's cloud adoption ratio is much higher than in the US. I would have thought that to be the complete opposite, but it's actually not true. So, I did some studies about it and I realized that there are several economic reasons behind it. And, also in terms of bend of mind and something that we guys are very comfortable with. So I realized that even though the market is, really picking up, it looks like the larger players are still outside of the market. I mean, the traction can be a lot higher in terms of cloud computing, both in US and in Europe. And if you go back and look at Gartner reports for cloud security and everything, you'll realize that the number of abbreviations there is just way too many. I mean, if you sit down evaluating your security solution against that, you'll spend an entire year. So my guess is that this is an evolving field, and we are at the absolute right space at the right time, innovating with something. We have defensible technology, and we have a few patents. So we think that there will be a few verticals that will get consolidated over the next few years. Resign, just startup. I mean, you can never be totally prepared for a startup. Don't think of whether I've got this under control, that under control. Just start doing it. If you got an idea, please start doing it. And it doesn't matter whether somebody else is doing it or not.
Great.
Thanks a lot for having me.